Tonight. This is my second official stream here that I'm doing solo, and I'm really excited to take a second look. Last stream, if you remember, and I did an encore of it that's up on YouTube, I actually had to verify and authenticate my account before it would let me post it. I thought I posted it last night, but it is posted now on my YouTube channel. It is not under GameFace Killa, it's actually under GameFace Killa 21. So just remember it's my name plus 21 at the end, and you can watch the VODs there if you want to catch up on what happened in the last stream. Basically, I kind of introduced the game a little bit about what I know about it. I've got a little bit of experience with both the physical card game and in watching this game unfold on the videos that they've done with Fantasy Flight Interactive Community Manager. And it's really interesting so far, and I've played a lot and I love the physical card game, so I'm really interested in seeing how this game kind of evolves. And I am really looking at this kind of from the point of view of a new player, just like you might be. So, for example, I'm going to take a look at some of the things, some of the other options on the home menu here, like the Vault, the Palantir, the Deck Builder, and then I'm going to try to play a little bit of the next mission so we can kind of see. I'll see everything just as new as if I had never looked at it before, because honestly, I haven't. The only time I might have seen something is on a video stream, but it's also been quite a while since I've seen them, so they probably updated a lot since the last time. So thanks for tuning in. We'll go ahead and get started. I think what I'm going to do is take a look at from the right to the left, and then that way we'll kind of end with the play element of the game. So I'm going to take a look at the vault. And what I remember from the vault is this is where you're going to spend your valor. So if you are an early access purchaser, you've purchased anywhere from a I think it's $7.99 tier to about a $48 tier, and that's going to set your starting valor and give you some Palantir views, which we'll look at the Palantir in a second. It also gives you some cosmetic upgrades, and then you have a little bit more access to cards. If you would like to purchase more of the cards that are available, you can go to the vault here, and I believe there's two options to either go to the shop or Valor cards here. So it looks like, okay, this first page here is a feature rotation. It looks like there's sets of packs. They're advertising hero packs and campaigns. So ideally what's going to be purchasable in the game is the scenarios, which are the sort of obstacles and adventures you can go on, and then you can also purchase hero packs, which usually includes a hero plus 4 other cards. And so it's sort of like purchasing a booster pack. If you're familiar with playing games like Magic or the Lord of the Rings card game has booster packs too, but living card games are a little bit different, where when you purchase a hero pack or any pack, you actually know everything that's going to be in that pack when you purchase it. So that's really cool, because then it just becomes about the tactics, who can build the best deck, just using their brains, their wits, as opposed to who has the most money to buy the most booster packs and get the rarest cards. So it looks like this first page here just gives us some of the featured packs you can buy. Looks like there's a hero of almost every sphere. Legolas is a tactics hero. I'm probably going to have to purchase that. I love Legolas. Eowyn, I love her too. She's one of my favorite spirit characters from the physical game. Looks like there's campaigns that are oh, the Shadow's Reach. I believe I already have access to this, and that's why it's not, there's nothing that's locked. I just have to, the only reason why these other windows are grayed out, these other stages of the campaign, is because I need to unlock them by playing them in a row. I need to beat one before I can play the next. So it looks like here we've got campaigns, and there will be some available soon. So there's nothing else. If you're an early access purchaser, you don't have to worry about buying any campaigns anytime soon. I believe that the Shadow's Reach is going to be the only campaign that's available for right now in the early access. They may change that. But the early access is only supposed to last a few months, and then it comes out free to play. And or you can still purchase the tiered packs for different amounts of money, and that gives you access to more and more of the cards and campaigns. Here on the packs page, oh, this is cool. So the I haven't seen this before. So the packs actually look like packs, and so you can purchase Prince of Mirkwood, which would be Legolas hero pack. The Rangers of Gondor. I'm assuming this is Faramir. I can't remember. Maybe it's someone else. Then Eowyn, Shield Maiden of Rohan. I'm sorry, Shield Maiden of Rohan. And then the Steadfast Companion, and I'm really bad because... Oh, it's Dwaylen. Okay. So I clicked on him, and it gives you a view of all the cards you get. I believe you only get one copy of each of these cards, and that's an important distinction because you actually can have 2 copies of any card in your deck. So if you want to buy a second copy of a card, you would either have to... I don't think you want to purchase it through the hero packs. That would be a waste of money. It does cost me 3,750 Valor points. Valor points. And I also get a Palantir view for free with this purchase. So it's a pretty good amount of money for 5 cards plus a Palantir view. Or I can purchase it for real money for $1.99, and I'm sure all of the packs are the same cost. Yeah, looks like they're the same. And as you can see, each one comes with a different sphere of a hero. So if you want to try the tactics or leadership or lore or spirit, you've got all kinds of options to start off with and play around with the decks. And then obviously you can quest with a certain hero, build a certain deck with that hero, and 2 of the other heroes from the core set. And then once you've earned enough Valor points from winning some victories, then you can move on and buy the next hero pack and try those cards out. And eventually... I believe the core set comes with at least 4 heroes already, if maybe just 3, but I thought it was 4. We'll check that out in just a second when we get to the deck builder. But then these booster packs add your available heroes, obviously, and so you have more heroes available. You have 3 in each game, and then you have these extra cards you can add to your deck of 30 cards, extra options. It looks like there's 1 of each sphere in each pack. Yeah, looks like that's the case. So you'll get a card of each sphere, even though your hero is of 1 sphere. But again, you get access in the core set for to 1 hero for each sphere of influence. So that's why, yes, I do think you get 4 heroes with a core set, and we'll take a look at what comes with the core set here in just a second. But these extra hero packs buy extra cards for each of those heroes, extra options for those heroes. And obviously there's some filters here. And so there's probably going to be a lot of booster packs you can buy eventually. I may purchase these tonight just to kind of see what it looks like, or at least one of the packs. So that's the shop. You can buy packs, you can buy campaigns. Everything comes in kind of packages of cards as opposed to individual. And that Valor card section here, I believe this is where you purchase the extra card. Yes. So... for example, a friend in need here. If I just look at the cards, let's see if I can select just the core set, but I might not be able to. Okay. Oh, okay. So I'm going to select all the cards that I own. Oh, I have no cards. That's interesting. So apparently these are not in the core set, and it makes sense. So this is interesting because I'm not exactly sure. I know that the game, they've said that they're never going to let you purchase anything that you can't use. So remember when I said there's 2 cards of every sphere, or 2 of any cards in your deck maximum? You're never going to be able to purchase more than 2 cards. So you don't ever have to worry, oh, I purchased this card and now I'm screwed because it's a 3rd version and I already have 2 other cards of the same kind. It won't let you do that. And it looks like some of the cards, to unlock them, you first have to purchase the Shield Maiden of Rodin, the hero pack, in other words, and then you can purchase a second card here. You'll notice, as well as being able to click and look at a card in detail and see the illustrator, which is really cool, and then their kind of catchphrase. And you can also see each of the cards costs a different amount, I think probably based on their rarity, or maybe how much they might be worth. So here's how you can find out whether or not you have 1 or 2 cards. I have no Barlam and Butterbur cards, and I can purchase 1 for 1,500 or 2 my full set for 3,000. And that is how you can find out what cards you have already. So a friend in need, I have 1 of those already in the core set. I can purchase my second one for 750. But if I picked a card like Barlam and Butterbur, if I wanted him and I wanted both cards to be able to have him have 2 copies of my deck, I'd have to purchase 2. I'm not sure how they decide the cost of the cards. I do know down here below the cards you can see there's different rarities of cards, and I believe what that means is that you... Oh, this is what determines how many cards you can have in your deck of that sphere based on the number of heroes. So you can see this, yeah, as I hover over it. In order to have a friend in need in my deck, I have to have 2 spirit heroes in my party. So I'd have to have 2 blue characters, 2 spirit heroes, to even have this card at all in my deck. And that's where you really get into this interesting tactics. The interesting tactics of do you want to have a multi-sphere where every hero is a different sphere, but that only unlocks the common cards for you. There are some rarer cards, but the problem is that the more cards you have in your, the more heroes you have, the more powerful cards you have access to for that sphere. So you're gonna have to trade off. I did get a recommendation. I'm not sure who it was that it came from. Maybe I see Joe is on. Maybe he can tell me. That if you do have some Valor points, you always want to buy the common or rare cards first. The reason why, a couple reasons, they're the cheaper cards, and so you'll be able to purchase more of them to complete your 2 card sets. And then what it does is later on you can use your Palantir views, which is something I'll show you here in just a second, to get the rarer cards. So in other words, if I buy a rare card, it's going to cost me, as you saw in the beginning, there was some cards that were about 1,500. Barlam and Butterbur is a rare card, 1,500 per card Valor points. So that's pretty hard. That's a pretty big purchase if I buy both of these sets. But what I can do is Palantir views are a way of getting a view of, and you actually get access to a random card that you don't have access to yet, and it will just kind of show up in your set. So I'm going to kind of take a look. I'm going to back out and take a look at Palantir so you can see the other option for getting cards. The Palantir, I believe, can also give you access to certain cosmetic achievements and trophies so that you can collect all those as well. It's another thing to kind of collect. But a Palantir view is interesting because it's a random, and you are limited. So you might get them for winning certain quests or for purchasing hero packs like you just saw. But you're much more limited than Valor. So you really want to spin these carefully. You want to make sure that when you do gaze into the Palantir, you only get the really rare. You only do so after you already have purchased the more common cards with your Valor, so that the only things you ever get out of Palantir are the really rare things. So that's the advice that I've already gotten about this, is don't waste your Valor on rare cards. Save that for the Palantir views, because then you'll have access to those. You'll get those as you're playing, and they're worth more, right? A Palantir view that gives you a 1,500 Valor point card is much better than a Palantir view that gives you just a 150 Valor point card. And Valor points obviously are going to be available to you, and you can stock them, you can save them as well. Palantir views and Valor can both be saved until you find something you want to purchase. If you're not interested in a certain type of sphere or certain hero, you can just not purchase that hero. Unfortunately, as you can see in the vault, there are some cards that you can't purchase. So for example, in order to have some things like the Gondorian Shield, I would probably have to purchase Faramir hero pack. Because as you can see, when I go to the shop, when I go to the Valor cards section, I'm going to look at, okay, so the Gondorian Shield, as you can see, I can't purchase this card by itself. It has to be purchased as a hero pack first for my first copy. Then I can purchase the second copy via the Valor cards section here. So this is kind of an interesting dilemma. And this is kind of, I think, one of the controversies of the game is how are they going to set up their economy in order to keep people playing, not drive away players, make the game purchasable eventually if you just want to quest and not spend any money. How do you get to the point where you can purchase whatever you want to build whatever deck you want? Is it going to be a long, arduous process? and is it going to be cheap, or is it going to be fair and doable if you just spend a little extra time? I'm kind of the person who I'm going to purchase a high tier starter set, so I get a little bit more of the cosmetic stuff, the kind of bells and whistles that don't really mean anything. But then after that, I don't really want to make a lot of purchases on a regular basis. I'm not like a microtransaction type of person, and so I'm going to try to play the game without buying any more Valor or spending any real money after that point. And I really am hoping that I don't have to do that. So I hope that the developers are listening and thinking about what type of system they want to set up and not make it really hard to purchase certain types of cards. It's kind of one of those things where we'll see what happens as it develops. But right now it seems pretty fair system. There's not a lot of cards available. I could probably spend all my Valor points and not spend everything, use my Palantir views, and get a lot of things that I would like. I could probably complete my set, I bet, without spending all my money. Alright, so the next thing we'll take a look at is the deck builder stage or area. So whenever I'm here, I can always take a look at either heroes. So yeah, like we said earlier, it is true. I do have access to 4 heroes. And then I have access to a tab with all the other cards that I can add to my deck. And you'll remember that you can have a starter deck of 30 cards. Right now it has the starter deck hero set up here on the right side. So this is going to be where my deck list is, and then my hero roster. Looks like right now I can take a look. I'm taking a look at the starter deck. So the starter deck comes with Aragorn, who's an awesome hero, Arwen, who also is awesome, and Gimli. 2 of these heroes came out in the starter set of the physical game. Arwen was added later. I'm not sure exactly which set, but it was either during the Shadows of Mirkwood campaign or Khazad-dûm, because I remember her being available in one of those 2 sets as a card. And then here you can see the list of cards, and on the left hand side you see the resource cost and the sphere by color, and on the right hand side you'll see the number of copies I have in my deck. And just like I said before, you can have either 1 copy or 2, no more than that. So you'll never be able to purchase anything in the store. You'll never make a third purchase of anything as far as cards go, at least not right now. And the starter deck is built up to the maximum, so it's got 30 cards in it. In just a second, we're going to test it out and see how it goes. I'm just going to use the starter deck on the first campaign, the first mission anyway, because I really want to see how it would play right out of the box. If it would be easy for someone to just jump right in and have a good, successful adventure, or if it's going to be really hard and you're just going to want to make your own deck. The other thing that you can look at in your card library, and this is something that I believe that I have a few more of since I purchased the higher tier pack, is I can have card backs, different card backs. As you can see, there's the standard one that came with the physical board game, and then there's some variations on that ring. And then there is a pretty cool Mount Doom picture. I like the kind of minimalist art here. There's an Istari, one of the wizards, card back. There's a Steward of Gondor, of course, from the city of Gondor. And there's the Shire, which is a pretty cool little card back. And of course, this is all decorative. The card backs don't have any effect on the game, but they're pretty cool to have, and you can kind of see them as you're playing. You can look at the card backs. I'm going to go ahead and choose the Mount Doom card back. That's pretty cool looking. Okay, so I think I picked that. And so you'll see that when I jump into the game here. I can, if I wanted to, I could modify this starter deck, and then I'll probably want to name it something different by clicking in here and renaming it. I can switch cards out if I want, as long as I stay within my bounds of 30 cards and the 3 heroes. And of course I can't play any leadership. You know, I can only put cards in my deck if I have a leader from that same sphere. And there are 4 spheres. Red is tactics, purple is leadership, green is lore, and blue is spirit. Then there's also gray neutral cards. There's a few gray neutral cards that you can purchase and have in your deck if you would rather have those. And then any hero can really play those. You can play those no matter what your hero makeup is. Now if I was starting a deck here, I click on, when I first come into this screen, I have the option of creating a new deck. And I think what will happen is obviously I'll pick my heroes first. That's going to really determine what cards go in my deck, the composition. Right now I have 4 choices, but I can only pick 3 of them. So unfortunately, unless I purchase a hero pack, I'm not going to get those higher level cards because I only have one of each hero sphere, or one of each sphere of influence. And the other downside is that even if I pick 3 different spheres, I lose out on trying out one of them. So as you can see, I don't get Tom Took. And that's interesting that he's a starter character for the spirit sphere. I don't ever remember seeing him at all in the physical card game. If he did show up, it's probably not until after I stopped playing. So some set after the starter set. So they're really pulling from a lot of different a lot of different sets as far as the physical card set. I'm not going to create a deck today. I might do that on the next stream just so we can kind of see how it goes. I'm just going to use, like I said, the starter deck. I just wanted to kind of show you how easy it is just to come in here. I can click. I can drag card. Once I create and start a new deck, I can just drag cards over, and my deck list and my hero roster will fill out. And then I can just go and play with it and see how it goes. Now, as far as the Sauron cards, what's interesting about this is you can actually take a look at all of the Sauron cards that you have encountered so far. So if you remember in the tutorial, I've kind of run into all of these cards in the tutorial so far. And so I can, if I wanted to, I can kind of think about my tactics as I'm building my deck and then come and look at Sauron's cards and see if there's anything I'm not thinking of, which is a really cool option. But I got to remember that every time I go against a new quest, there's going to be new Sauron cards I haven't seen yet. So that's something important to remember. I also have a choice of card backs for Sauron's cards. I can use this new Eye of Sauron card, which is a little bit of minimalist again, or I can use the traditional card backs, the Eye of Sauron Classic. I'm going to go ahead and stay with the new ones for now. And that's pretty much the deck builder for right now. Pretty interesting 3 options as far as things to do when you're not playing the game. But we're going to get back into the action here. Oh, okay. So they totally, apparently Jofos is saying that he heard on the stream that they completely made up that Took character, Tom Took, as far as for this version of the game, and it's not in the physical version of the game. So that's really interesting. I wonder why they chose to do that for the core set heroes. You'd think this is one thing about the physical card game is I always thought it was strange that they picked the heroes that they did. Aragorn made sense, Legolas made sense, and then they chose Gimli and Eowyn, I think, are the ones that are in the core set. I thought that was it was an interesting choice. I would be interested to know why they chose those cards that they did. Likewise, the same with the core set heroes that they picked for this. But that's, neither here nor there. So when I click on a campaign, it's going to open up a window and zoom me in on the area. It looks like most of this takes place in the east of the Misty Mountains. So I'm assuming this is the forest, the Mirkwood Forest. Yeah, that's what I was looking for the name, and it's underneath the Shadow's Reach title. When I start the game, I can look at my deck and this is where you're going to pick your deck. So if you have multiple decks that you build, you got a handy dandy little selection menu here. But obviously I only have one right now, just the starter deck. You have the option of choosing easy, normal, and hard. I think I'm going to choose easy. I really want to try and show the difference between the different tiers. And so what I'd like to do is play easy, normal, hard. If easy is really easy, I might only play easy on the first mission. And then I obviously want to try normal and hard to show you all what it looks like, what the differences are between them as far as the AI. Right now I have to start off with the Addercop mission. An anguished Gloin arrives at Beorn's hall with dreadful news. A great spider has captured Bilbo Baggins. He beseeches a hardy band of heroes to help rescue his dear friend. So that's cool. So you're the hardy band of heroes, and it can be any heroes that you pick for your deck for this adventure. So apparently this picks up right after the tutorial as well. So looks like I'll be jumping in just after the action finish of the tutorial. So I'm going to play this scenario. I'm going to put on easy, and obviously the co-op, you can see the buttons grayed out, but it will be available, I'm assuming, at the start of, or at the end of early access, the start of the real access, right? The regular release of the game, and you can play with one other player. My fingers are crossed, and so are the fingers of many of my friends, that eventually there will be a 4-player co-op, which is the original physical game upper limit. You can play up to 4 players, and it is so much fun to play with 4 players against Sauron. If you notice here, there's a deck of Sauron cards here. If I click on those, it gives me a list of Sauron's cards that are in his deck for this scenario. But guess what? I don't know them yet because I haven't ever played. So I've got to wait until I played to be able to take an in-depth look at this deck list. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we'll check it out. Ah, so it's interesting, the sleeping evil that once inhabited the Greenwood. I'm not as up on my lore for Lord of the Rings, but I do know that the game in general takes place between Bilbo's birthday and the time that the Fellowship left, or Frodo leaves the Shire to go and join the Fellowship. So there's an interesting time period there, and I'm not completely sure what the evil is that once inhabited, but I guess we'll maybe find that out. Okay. Ah, and here's the spiders. Ooh. Whew. Okay, so we had a lot coming at us that is very different from the tutorial, or a pretty big step up from the tutorial. So I think one of the things that players are going to have a hard time with, and I kind of have run into this before, or at least a couple other people have told me this, is that the tutorial teaches you a lot, but then you're kind of in still some deep water once you start the actual first scenario. So you really, hopefully they'll add some more elements to the tutorial. They did say, again, remember this is early access. They're definitely going to be modifying things, making it easier for players to jump in. This is, so at the beginning of the game, this is an option that makes the game pretty interesting. You have, in the physical game, you have the option of discarding cards when you get your starting hand, and then those cards are replaced. So it's always a good idea to think about which cards you want to keep, which ones you want to get out right away, and then anything else you would definitely want to discard and see if you get something better. You also want to make sure you have a good mix of allies in your hand, as well as events that help you do things like draw cards, get resources. It looks like I have a pretty good hand just simply because it's not very expensive. The other thing you want to worry about is expense. If you have a really expensive card, you probably want to get rid of it at the beginning because you won't be able to play it for a couple of rounds anyway, so you might as well send it back to your deck, and you'll probably run into it very soon anyway. I think I'm going to keep what I have. I might, okay, I'll get rid of the Veteran Axe Hand. So I am going to discard that. It's a little more expensive, and we'll see what I get. So I just select the cards I want to get rid of, and they kind of fade into the background a little bit. I'm going to keep these other 4, and then I just click confirm. Okay. So the card disappeared and was replaced by a Guard of the Citadel, and the card I discarded goes back into my deck, so I have 25 cards still. I have 5 in my hand to start off with. It looks like the objective for the first stage of the quest comes up. A journey begins. Defeat every enemy or resolve Glint of Steel. So I can either kill, I can make this into a combat quest, or I can focus on just completing the objective. As you remember, I can complete objectives by applying willpower to it equal to the quest value, which is, I believe, if this is the objective, it's 6. Upkeep phase, I get 2 cards and 3 resources. Oh, but I guess the first round I don't get my 2 cards, so I still have 5, but I don't get a draw the first hand. As you can see, here's my card backs and Sauron's card backs. I can take a look at those cool looking card backs while I'm playing. And this is the Glint of Steel objective, so this is one of my options. For 6 willpower, I can examine the strange gleam under the leaves, so there might be something special if I complete this part of the quest. The trick is that that's a very tempting treasure, possibly, but I could also go for fighting. It looks like there's a couple of forest spiders that don't really have any abilities, but they've got 2 attack, 4 hit points. I've also got a couple of guard giants, or there's a giant spider who has guard, which means I have to attack him before I attack anything else, or at least I can attack something else with guard. But he does 2 damage and has 6 hit points, so he's a little meatier. Then there's a Hive Guardian. This is an interesting new spider type. Looks pretty cool. He has guard and stalwart. So here's the trick with this guy. He's going to get to attack twice, or at least take 2 actions. So he has a potential of doing 4 points of damage, which is way more, twice as much as any other monster here. So I probably want to focus on him, and he's got guard, so it'll be nice to attack him anyway. I've also got, for my own heroes, just to give you a look at what I have, I've got Aragorn. He is 11th threat, and as you can see, my threat has already been added to the right here, so I have 30 threat worth of heroes. Aragorn is worth 11, Arwen's worth 9, and Gimli cost me 10, so I'm up to 30. Now you'll notice there's a few more threat events here on the scale. There's one at 35, there's one at 40, and one at 45. So that's pretty scary. If I get to 35, which is not too far away, it's only 5 away, 3 more forest spiders are going to interplay, so I got to be really careful of that. I will just show you that one, and then the other ones we'll wait till we get closer to look at those. Also, I've got to worry about my overall threat. I'm already at 30. I'm only 20 away from 50 and losing the game, and I'm just starting. So, I also have fate events. As you can see here, the fate tracker, there's actually 3 cool fate events. If I can get 2 fate, I can get Bilbo's pack. It looks like it only happens at this location. I can look through his pack to find some supplies. So I'm assuming that means I get an event or I get an action where I can look through his pack as long as I'm at this location. And so we'll see that when it pops up. We'll try to spend some willpower on that if we get enough guys to be able to afford it. So here are my card options. I can play this ally who's got guard. He's a nice guard. He's got a little bit of hit points to soak up some damage. The enemies have to attack him first. He only has 1 damage that he can do and no willpower. So he's not good at questing and he's not really good at attacking. He's basically just a shield. Advance warning. This is a preparation card, which means it'll give me a little pip, and it'll be a surprise card for him. If he plays any enemies out of his hand, he's only got 2 resources. I'm not sure if he can, but if he plays any more enemies, if I have this card activated, they'll be come into play exhausted. I can play Mithrandir's Advice and draw 2 more cards, but I don't think I will do that because I already have 5. I don't think I'll need any more than that. I've got another guard, which is pretty cool, and I've got an archer. Now, when he arrives, this archer, or she, might be a she, when he or she arrives, I can deal 1 damage to an enemy, which is good because I could knock this big guy down that does 4 damage. So I could play that Galadhon Archer and hit this guy and soften him up for an attack from Gimli or something like that. Arwen. Oh, we haven't looked at the other heroes here. Or Aragorn has 11 threat. He has 2 attack, 2 willpower, 11 hit points. His power is that he can spend a resource to ready and gain surge. So that's pretty cool. I can spend an extra resource and basically give him a whole other action. For Arwen, she's pretty awesome. She has 1 attack, 3 willpower, so she's a massive quester. She kind of takes the place of Eowyn from the physical card game. She has 9 hit points. And every upkeep she can restore 1 health point to a character. Finally, Gimli, a big heavy hitter. He does 2 damage right now. He has 1 willpower, 12 hit points, so he's a good damage soaker. He gains an extra melee attack point, damage point, after the first time a character is damaged in the round. So it doesn't have to be his character, it can be any character, and then he'll have +1 for the rest of the round. So I gotta save his action until someone else gets damaged. So now the question becomes, what do I play first? Because right after I play a card or take an action, he's gonna get to go. So Jofos is telling me easy mode means Sauron gets 1 less resource per upkeep phase. Okay, that makes sense. He's got 2 and I've got 3. So the tempo of the game is going to be in my favor quite a bit. I'm kind of leaning toward playing one of my allies because if I play a guard, for example, then if he attacks, he'll have to attack the guard. If I play another guard after that, then his second attack has to be a guard. And the nice thing is they'll take reciprocal damage. So that means these guys will get whittled down a little bit. I think that's going to be a good play. So I'll play this guy. And he does damage. And he's smart because he's using his guy who has stalwart before I can damage him. So now I've got to decide, do I want to play another guard? Oh, and he attacked, which took off his guard. So he no longer has guard. That was another good reason to attack. Now I have to attack this guy who has 6 hit points, which kind of sucks. If I play another guard, he'll have to attack that, and that'll bring him down to 1 hit point or take another guy down a hit point. So maybe I'll do that. I'll play on the defense a little bit. And so he did for... I mean, it makes sense. He's attacking, getting this guy both of his attacks, which is a huge amount of damage. Once again, I can't attack him back yet. And he's done attacking anyway, so it'd be pointless to attack him. So now at this point, I've got to decide what I want to do with... He's got 3 attacks left, each one at 2 points, so he's going to do 2 points of damage. Probably kill my guards off now. Or attack a hero. He could put all the damage on one hero. So Gimli now has 3 hit points of damage he can do, but I have to attack the giant spider until... I could put this guard of the Citadel on guard again, which means all the attacks are going to be soaked up by my guard allies, and my heroes won't take any damage. So I think I'm going to do that. Let's just see what happens. They're going to be sacrificed, unfortunately, but that'll also exhaust almost all of his guys just doing this. Oh, that's true. If I guard with Gimli... Thanks, Joe. If I guard with Gimli, he gets to reciprocate his damage. So he gets to attack anyway, technically. But what's going to be sad is if I put him on guard... Well, I guess the giant spider has to attack someone. It would be a waste not to. But I'm kind of wondering if Aragorn should attack and take off the guard. And then Gimli could finish off one of these other guys. The archer can come in and finish off. Trade-off. Alright, we'll put Gimli on guard and see what he does. And he did. He'd attack Gimli, which is fine. the Gimli reciprocated damage, so now the giant spider is down to 3 hit points. I'm going to go ahead and play the Galatown Archer. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to... So I'm going to do some heavy attacking instead of questing. I was going to quest with Arwen, but I think I can take out 3 of these guys. So I'm going to do 1 damage to one of these spiders with 3 hit points. Oh no, I should have played my preparation. Because now he's got a new guy to attack with. Okay, so more than likely what he's going to do now is he's going to attack the archer and finish him off before I can attack. So I should attack with the archer right now. And so I'll do this because that will do 1 damage and... Yeah, that is a female. Okay, good. So she took some damage for us. So the heroes are still undamaged. Well, Gimli's got a couple of damage. But the heroes haven't soaked up too much. But I have lost all my allies I brought out. They're all exhausted, and now at this point I've got to decide how I'm going to split up my... I have no more cards to play. I can definitely kill someone. I can kill this forest spider with Aragorn. Which I think I will go ahead and do that. And then, man. So Sauron gets a resource as revenge. So I believe, yeah, the revenge ability, I like that the traits roll over now. Get to tell you what they do. Whenever this card is killed, Sauron's going to get a resource. So I don't... He's going to get to attack. So the question is I could preemptively attack and keep him from doing 1 damage, but that sure is a waste of her questing ability. So I haven't taken much damage with heroes, so I think I'm going to try to risk it and quest. Because then that means I can complete questing with Arwen alone next round. So we auto jump to the next round. So Arwen's ability triggers, lets me heal a character. I believe I'm going to heal Gimli. Ooh, okay, so I got some great card additions. 2 card draws every upkeep. 3 more resources. I've got a Rohirrim Lancer. Now he's ranged, and if you remember, ranged means that I can attack a guy that's, even though there's a guard enemy in play, I can attack someone else besides a guard enemy. The other thing is, I believe that if... I don't know if this is the rule anymore. Let's see. This unit ignores guard when attacking. Okay, so there used to be another rule where you could also preemptively attack so you wouldn't take any damage, but they took off damage when you're reciprocal damage when you're attacking anyway, unless it's a guard. Okay, never mind. So the question is, do I want to draw cards yet? Do I want to exhaust the next enemy that comes out? I think I want a sneak attack. Let's see what we get. Okay, so I got an Imladris Caregiver. Remember that the sneak attack, when it happens, it's randomly pulled not from your deck, but just from the general card pool you have available. What's weird is I got the same guy that I got in the tutorial, so it kind of makes me wonder if it's always going to be him for a while, but we'll see. Okay, so I just took 2 damage to Arwen, so she's down a little lower now. Unfortunately, if I attack... Well, if I attack with Gimli, he can finish off this guy. And then I take away his ability to do 2 damage, so I'm going to do that. Man, Arwen takes another 2 damage. I think what I'm going to do... No, I'm going to save this for the next area. I'm thinking about getting this fate event by having the caregiver tackle that area. Because he's going to go away after this round anyway, and he's not really useful for anything. Oh, but I can put him on guard. That's beautiful. He's going to go away anyway at the end of the round, so now... Yeah, so I put him on guard. Sauron has to attack that guy, which he did. That was probably a smart thing to do with him, too. Nice. Thanks, Joe. We were great minds, thinking alike at the same time. Okay. Whew, this is tough. Decisions. So many decisions. Okay. So I can quest with Arwen and finish this area. So I don't really even need to attack. And he might play another card, which I might have to take care of with Aragorn. So let's see what happens when I finish questing. Glint of steel. Lying on the forest floor is a small elven blade, beautiful, strong, and light. This must be Bilbo's sword Sting, a valuable treasure. Oh, that's cool. So, even though, let's see, 25... I'm trying to figure out if this... I don't think this card was in my deck. Yeah, I think it was not in my deck because I don't have the right hero for this spirit sword. And so that is cool because that means I just got it as an extra reward, a card I would not have access to normally. So this is pretty awesome because it's going to give somebody who wields it +1 or +2 if it's an orc or spider. So I think, man, I could give this to Gimli and he would be a hard hitter. Or I could give it to Aragorn who could use it right now and destroy one of these spiders. Oh, I should attack with Aragorn and just keep this guy from doing any damage. So he just did some treacherous thing. He's prepared something and I don't know what it is. I'm kind of worried if I play Sting that I will lose it. So I'm going to go ahead and just travel. So the caregiver left, remember, because it's a new round. Or it was the end of that last round. Okay, so we got a clue. We're on the right path. Okay, so that was a pretty long sequence of text, and the narrator changed, so that must be some more evolution. Okay. So we got a little bit of a new background here. Find a way across the stream is the new objective. I'm assuming that fire... Okay, so I can't... I've got to pick some hit points. I'm going to obviously give this to Arwen. Okay. So I got one new card. I wonder if I only play... so 5 cards must be my limit. If I have 5 cards or 4 cards, it's not going to give me my full 2 cards per upkeep. I did get a warrior sword, so that gives me someone else to add damage to. And it's free. Okay, so this must be my new... Yeah, this is my new objective. I can push over the tree to bridge the stream, and that cost me 6 willpower. So I could quest twice with Arwen and do that. You'll notice that this bear, the wild bear here, has pursuit. What that means is that if I complete this stage of the quest and I travel, he's going to travel with me. So I really want to kill him. I don't want him to be added to the number of monsters on the next set. Foul weather. So there's a hazard. This is a hazard. Remember, this is voluntary. I don't have to do this objective if I don't want to. It has a quest value of 3. Every upkeep, it's going to reduce my card draw by 1. So that's why I only drew 1 card. So it wasn't that I had 5 card maximum. It's that this foul weather is keeping me back. Okay, so I have 5 resources. I should probably play these weapons before I attack with them. I'm kind of wondering whether or not I should try to get rid of some damage. I think that's probably a smart move. If I have Arwen attack this way, I can take out 2 damage with just 1 hit. I know I'm delaying questing a little bit longer, but I think it might be worth it. Ooh, so the bear gets to attack twice. Oof. That's tough. So unfortunately, he's going to get to attack a second time and do another 3 points of damage, probably to Gimli. Man, that's a lot of damage. I should have thought about that. Because I could have put the Rohirrim Lancer out and guarded with him to take that hit. But now I'm stuck. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure Gimli's going to take damage anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and play the warrior sword on him. Maybe I should have done that first, but... Well, we live and we learn, right? So now, Gimli can take out the bear if I wanted to, and I should because he does a huge amount of damage. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Or wait. Maybe I'll have Aragorn. Since he's exhausted, I can take care of him in his own time. I'm going to go ahead and have Aragorn. Oh. I thought I would finish him, but I didn't. That was silly. Okay, I thought I was going to do enough damage to kill him. I wasn't thinking straight. So, Gimli is going to take care of the bear. Man, another 3 damage dealer. That's enough to finish Gimli. Oh no, so I'm stuck. So if I use Aragorn's power, that means that I can activate him again, but the unfortunate thing is that Gimli is going to take damage. I probably should have played my advance warning to exhaust him, but it's too late for that now. So Gimli is going to die. I'm going to go ahead and activate Aragorn. Oh, that's a surge action. Yes. Okay. Whew. So Aragorn has the ability to surge as well with that power. So I spend a resource, he's readied, and he gains a surge action. I'm going to guard with him. Sauron passes, so he's not doing anything else. That's interesting. Maybe he's waiting for me to play another card. So I'll play the Rohirrim Lancer. We'll see. Oh, he already passed, so he can't do anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and... Alright, I'm going to go ahead and play this on Aragorn, because he'll be a heavy hitter if I attack this spider. So I need to deal this damage to this spider so that I can one-shot him at the beginning of next round. So I'll have the Rohirrim attack. And now we move to a new round because there's nothing either one of us can do. Oh, so this is cool. Aragorn is still guarding, even though I activated that last round. I get to heal someone. I'm going to heal Gimli, so now I don't have to worry about him dying, at least from one hit. So I can play this to gain a resource. That might be necessary later. I need him to die quickly, so I could either have Gimli attack him. I don't want Aragorn to lose his guard yet, because whoever I attack, if I attack with Aragorn, he'll lose his guard. And if I don't take out the spiders, they're going to attack Gimli if he's not guarded. So I'm going to go ahead and attack the spiders and take out the 3 damage that he can do. Whew. Okay. So that is a little sigh of relief because he has no enemies out now, and I can kind of control them if he brings any more out. I've got a few guys left to attack. Gimli could heal up a little bit more. And I've still got some good questers too. So I'm going to have Arwen do this hazard first, because I think maybe I should play Advance Warning first. Okay, I'm going to do that. Ah, so his preparation canceled my preparation. So he canceled the next event I play. So I lost that card and the resource. Man. Now every ally that enters play is going to be exhausted. So I can't play any more allies until I get rid of that. So I think I'm going to have to do that first. Okay. So I'm going to do this so my allies won't be exhausted. He passes because he has no resources left, which makes sense. Now I think I can quest and then maybe use my resource, activate him again, and then he can start working on the main quest. So I'll get a full card draw next round. You'll notice that Aragorn kind of glows in this way. I believe that that's a reminder that you could use your power, spend a resource, and he will be able to activate a second time. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So he's activated for a resource. That's a pretty good purchase. So I pushed the tree a little bit into the stream. I'm going to go ahead and play Gaining Strength because it doesn't... Since I know Sauron is done, this is basically a free action. I get a resource. I'm going to go ahead and play Mithrander's Advice. Might as well. I get to draw 2 cards just to help me set up for next round. Ooh, a round shield. So upkeep, he's only going to get 2 resources, so I don't have to worry too much about him this round as far as enemies. I get to restore a hit point, so I'll give Gimli another. He's almost back to where everybody else is. Oh, and the Caregiver, if I play him, he can heal Gimli up even more, which is awesome. And then, of course, I can play the round shield on him to give him block. I'm going to try to spin. I'm going to try to really quickly. I can complete this adventure right now and move on. But I think I'm going to try to build my guys up a little bit. So I'm going to give Gimli block. So block, if you remember, now he's got a sword and a shield on. He can only have one more attachment, a special attachment. His shield gives him block, which means every damage the first damage of any attack is blocked. Sauron played an event that gives him threat. Oh, there's been these threat events happening. So let's see what happened. 3 forest spiders interplay. So that happened already, or maybe that's going to happen. Oh, that's going to happen. I don't think it's happened yet. Just as you thought the situation was under control, more of the giant, hairy, creepy crawlers emerged from the trees. And unsteady footing. This location only exhausts a random ally. The ally is not ready during the next upkeep. Dodging a blow, you lose your balance and fall backwards into the dark stream. Friendly hands quickly retrieve you, coughing and sputtering from the water. You feel strange, wonderfully strange. The forest blurs as a strong dark force seems to pull you to the ground, guiding you into a sweet and deep oblivion. So this is my only ally. If I play any other allies, it might be them that get knocked out instead. So I think what I'm going to do is save him. I'm going to go ahead and play the warrior sword. Who does not have a weapon? Arwen only. I'll go ahead and play this on her. Give her a little attack power. So he just gained another threat. So he's pushing my threat up. Now it's 36. Thank you, Red Tail. Sorry. It's hard for me to read that far away. It's on the other side of my monitor. Thank you for the luck. Hopefully it'll work. I'm on the second stage now. I think there's only one more stage after this. I have a feeling if I'm going to do a big fight, I want to heal up and gear up a little bit. So do I want to play the Veteran Axe Hand, who's a good damage taker? I think I'll try the Caregiver because I can heal up with that. I'm going to heal Gimli a little bit more. Plus he's a good quester. I still have all of these guys who can do questing. Sauron has played some kind of treachery card. I don't know what it is. I have no resources left, so I should just quest and finish this. So I'll quest with the Caregiver. He really doesn't do too much else. Sauron gains a resource for each ally in play, so he just gained 2 resources. He only has 1 card left, so that's good. I'm not sure if he's going to play anything, but I'm going to try to... I'm going to go ahead and have Arwen, since she only does 2 damage, but she's a good quester. Okay, so he just played a spider. So remember, according to the rules... Oh, that's okay, Red Tail. I just couldn't read the name all the way across the other screen. That's cool, though. So we've got a hatchling spider. He's only going to do 1 damage. If I travel, I'll leave him behind. I really don't need to worry about this because he doesn't have any cards left. I can kill him and then just travel anyway, so he won't even do damage. So yeah, Sauron passed. He doesn't have any cards left. He has 2 resources, but he's got a preparation card. I'm going to go ahead and travel. So Red Tail, yes, thank you for reminding me. See, I'm learning. I'm a new player, obviously, in this game. So I made a big mistake. Whenever you reach a new area, the round starts over usually. So what that means is that all of my characters who had actions left, I just kind of wasted all those actions. Because guess what I could have done with them? I could have added to my fate total and got all those cool fate rewards. And that would have added to my score as well, my final score. So, big mistake. Okay, so it doesn't look like I started a new round just yet. So I may not have wasted as much willpower as I could have. Although if I had ended the round, yeah, it would be interesting. I definitely would have. I could have used at least some of my fate to get the next level. So I've got to defeat Kyros in order to beat this game, this quest. So remember I said earlier there's two threat events that are going to come into play. One is going to add forest spiders. That's a lot. Okay, so I get to heal a character. I think I'll give this to Arwen because she's a little lower. Okay, whew. So I've got my big, beefy veteran axe hand. He would be a great guard. I really love the idea that you can voluntarily guard. Oh, yeah, ending turn might also be something that I'm going to do on a regular basis. Accidentally hit that instead of traveling. So, all kinds of mistakes to look forward to. So I could play the veteran axe hand as a big, beefy help against all this damage that's coming my way. Let's look at Kyros. He's unique. He does 4 attack. He has 11 damage, or he has 11 hit points. He exhausts any character that he attacks. So, unfortunately, what I've got to worry about is not just how much damage he deals. He can knock out 2 of my guys right now. I also have to worry about the fact that he exhausts anybody he does attack, so they can't reciprocate damage. Or they can't attack themselves on their turn. So the big dilemma becomes, what do I do to guard or stave off this first attack, which is probably going to be from Kyros. Kyros. I also have to worry because I'm only 2 threat away from the next threat event, and that is 2 wild bears interplay. The din of struggle sounds to some like battle, to others it sounds like food. So I'm going to have more to bear, haha. Good pun there. I'm going to have 2 more bears to worry about. I really have to figure out a way to knock these guys out fast. So I've got a Thillian Lookout. He's a pretty good damage dealer, soaks up a little damage. I've got the Enlarger's Caregiver who can heal someone when they take damage. So if I put the Caregiver on guard again, he'll take the damage from the first hit. I wonder if Sauron is going to attack me with a low melee guy, or if he'll be smart, which is smart, or if he'll be dumb and attack him with Kyros and finish him off, which I would actually like to have happen, because he kind of has he has 2 disadvantages, damage plus exhaustion. So I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to guard with him, and Kyros does attack him. Okay. So that exhausts Kyros. I don't have to worry about him for the rest of the round. Okay, now I can manage this a little bit easier. 6 damage is better than 10. I'm trying to see. So Gimli now has 4 damage. I can take out easily. He should be the next guy I attack with because he can take someone out. And then now I'm down to just taking 4 damage instead of 6. I think I'm going to do that. Ooh, I just got an achievement. Let's see. I just got the Defender achievement. I dealt 100 damage to enemies. The Defender. So, that's exciting. So I did get attacked as Vengeance. It looks like he attacked my Lancer, which isn't too bad. So now I've got. I definitely need to try to play somebody that can do damage, because if I put Arwen and the Rohirrim guy together, I can I can kill one guy, and then Aragorn can almost kill the second guy himself. So I should bring out a damage, somebody who can do at least a little bit of damage. And then I'm leaning toward the Axe Hand because then he can also guard next round, and hopefully that will distract Kyros a little bit longer. If I put a card out now, though, he's going to attack my Lancer and finish him off with the Spider, I have a feeling. So I'm going to go ahead and just do his damage. Oh! See? I almost forgot. I've got Sting. Sting is going to do an extra 2 damage because it's a spider, so I can actually finish this guy off and he won't get to attack at all. Whew! I'm glad I remembered that. Okay. Oh, no! So he used Greedy Fingers to discard my Sting attachment, so apparently this sword just gets lost in this forest all the time. So someone else will find it and pick it up later, I guess. But Aragorn has it no more. But that's okay because the trade-off was good. I can actually bring him back, Aragorn, and do more damage. But I think what I'm going to do is get this Axe Hand out here. Just in case I need to... After you play a card, lose a random card from your hand. Okay, so I'm going to lose one of my 2 allies. Let's see which one. The Lookout. That's not too bad, because the Caregiver is really useful for healing, although he won't be... And he'll be useful for guarding after that. So I'm going to go ahead. Remember, Aragorn's glowing here, tempting me with his rejuvenation. And he gets to surge, or at least I get an extra action from anyone. So I really just want to pile on the damage. First to this forest spider. And then I want to try to do as much as I can on this guy, the head guy, Kairos. No. Kyros. Alright, so I've got to heal someone. I could heal the Rohirrim guy. Unfortunately, he'll die no matter what. But if I put the Axe Hand on guard, then he might not die. But I think I'm going to go ahead and heal a hero. You know, it's elitist, but I'm going to put Axe Hand on guard so that Kyros will attack him and not kill anybody. And he'll be exhausted, but he only does 2 damage anyway, so that's not too bad. I pretty much have enough to complete the quest now, but I think I'm going to try to milk out some of this fate. See if I can go all the way. So I want to bring out somebody that can help me quest. So I'm going to bring out the Caregiver, who also will heal a character. I'll heal Arwen. Now she's back to full. So he just gave guard to the bear, the big bear, which means he's a veteran now. And that means he's going to take 1 less damage from my attacks, which is not a big deal. He's only got 5 hit points left. So now I'm going to try for some of this sweet, sweet fate action. Ooh, I just got another achievement. He just played a hatchling spider. Let's see what this achievement is. I just used a power 25 times. The 25th time. So that's cool. So I guess any of those buttons are count as powers too. Oh, no, I'm thinking of block. Okay, so what does he have? Oh, he gains block. Yeah, sorry. So hatchling spider. I should try to take him out. Really, it would be smart to do this. Well, you might play something else bad, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Rohirrim. Okay, so now I'm just going to take out enemies. Oh, I should have used Gimli. Curses! That was stupid. So I'm going to use my fate button on Arwen. Now I'm up to 5. Let's see if I can get something sweet with 6. We'll see what it is. So it's going to happen next upkeep phase. I'm also going to have this threat event where I'm going to get some more wild bears, but I think I should be able to hit those guys pretty easily. I'm going to go ahead and gain a resource because I think Sauron is done. And I'm going to go ahead and bring out archers. So I deal the damage. Oh, but it's blocked. Curses. I don't think that's going to do anything, yeah, because he blocks the first damage. So I've got to do at least 2 damage to do any damage. Thanks, Joe. I'm getting ready to head off here, too, in just a little bit. I'm almost done with this. You'll notice that I can't. It doesn't seem like I can fit anything else on here. You are limited to 7 heroes, or 7 characters at one time. So I'm maxed out that way. Hopefully I will outplay him as far as if he brings out any new heroes. He's only got 2 cards left. So the 2 wild bears are going to interplay. They have stalwart, so each one of them is going to get 2 actions. So I really have to take these guys out fast. I also have to be careful because it takes 4 damage to kill them, and I don't have anybody that does 4 damage right now. So I'm going to have the Caregiver Guard to start off with. And of course, Kairos attacked him. He still has block. But I need to start doing damage to these other bears because... Oh, so Gimli now has 4 damage because someone got hurt. So I need to take out one of these bears with him. And then he kills the Rohirrim, which is not bad, so that I can play... So now I can play the Lancer. Oh, well, maybe I want to wait. Because if he has Stalwart, so he's going to get 2 attacks unless I start attacking him right now. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to start off with the Axe Hand, because he's probably going to get killed. Nope, he killed the Archer, but that's okay. The Archer only does 1 hit point of damage. Now I can finish him off, but I'm gonna bring out the Lancer to do that. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit more threat. I'm up to 39, and something bad is gonna happen at 40. Oh no, all my allies are gonna get killed starting next round. So that's these 2 allies are gonna die. That sucks. Okay, well, I'm gonna try to get rid of the bear. So we have some birds. I'm going to have Aragorn attack them. And then I'm going to... Sauron is passed, which is good. I'm going to reactivate Aragorn. I'm going to use his... Let's see. I'm going to use his surge action. We're going to get another fate event next round. So now... Oh, we're going to get all of our fate events. Okay, good. So... I'm going to get all the 3 remaining fate events. So now we can just finish this guy off because there's nothing else to do. So I attacked him, and next round's going to hopefully end it. And we'll see what all my awesome fate events are. There's going to be 1 threat event. So unfortunately I lost my allies, an unbearable gloom. The oppression of Mirkwood's never-ending gloom and sinister wildlife has become too much for your companions to bear. Convinced they're no match for reawakened horrors of this cursed forest, they take panic foot for hearth and home. Ooh, so they just abandoned me. Oh, those guys. Okay, so I get to heal a hit point. I'll heal Gimli because he does the most damage right now. Oh, look at this. Gandalf. Okay, so I got another achievement. Man, I'm getting them left and right. Draw 50 cards during gameplay. Inquisitive Took. Okay, so that's cool. I've drawn 50 cards so far. So I can either heal myself, bring out the lookout, or Gandalf. Oh, I forgot to activate my fate event. Okay, this location only removed pursuit from every enemy. You'd almost forgotten about the honeycomb you received at Bjorn's house, a wild honeycomb. You gently drop it to the ground. Sure, it will attract any beast with a sweet tooth. So this is why you definitely, when you're playing this game, is... Oh, that's awesome. 8 gets you Bjorn. Okay, so we definitely got to get these. So don't forget to activate your fate events once you get to them. This one is pretty useless. I should have played it earlier. It basically takes pursuit away from any enemies that have it. Oh, I see now. I spent it, and then it goes back down. That makes sense. So I would actually have to spend a lot more time building up resources, and I should have bought Grimbjorn anyway. Okay, so this is a very big learning experience here. I'm going to win anyway, but unfortunately what happened was I forgot that when you spend fate to activate something, it drops it down to 0 and you have to start over again. Unfortunately, that also means that I purchased probably the worst one. I could have purchased Gloin for 7, or I could have had Grimbjorn for 8. Oh well. And yeah, thanks Redtail. I'll make sure to remember that. Grimbjorn next time. He is a beast. He would be awesome to have. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, so I'm going to bring out Gandalf. Hopefully... Wait a second. Oh, I don't have enough hit points. Okay, so I'm going to bring out the Athelian Lookout. Yes, okay, so that's what I was hoping he would do. He would attack that guy, and then my heroes are now free. I don't have enough to bring out Gandalf anyway. So now I can just kind of work on this guy. Man, I'm really... well, I can't get any more fate events, really. Well, actually I can. Let's do this. So Arwen contributes 3. Ooh, he just played low on supplies. He gains a threat every time I play a card. Okay, I'm not playing any more cards. That's good. So I just activated another fate event, or I'm about to. I can get Gloin to join my party. Gloin's conscience gnaws at him in the comfort of Bjorn's house, so he kind of comes after us to help us out. Bilbo was abducted while strolling to meet him. Gloin because he'd been late arriving. That's right. In the tutorial, he was late. To make matters worse, strangers are now risking their lives over his failure. Something in him gives, and he makes up his mind. Age be damned. He knows enough of Woodlore to find the trail of the brave strangers, and his axe is sharp enough to hew a few more spiders. Oh, sweet. So I now have him joining us. And... man, I'm tempted to go for this last... let's do it. I'm going to go for the last fate event. So I did enough damage to knock him down a little bit more. I'm going to add 1 willpower to fate. I don't think I'm going to heal anybody. I'm going to try to play Gandalf next round. So I'm going to end early. Now watch me get stuck. Yeah, I don't have to travel right away. That's right. I should have done this earlier. I should have built up fate and bought some of the events earlier. So I need to spread out the purchase of those events when they're more useful. So I need to remember that for future plays. Okay, Aragorn, or because of Arwen's ability, I can heal 1 hero. Now, Aragorn... okay. Now, I got to be careful playing cards because every time I play a card, because of this hazard, it's going to help him by giving him more threat. And I'm at 43, so I don't want to push it up too much. But I also want to play Gandalf. Oh, okay, so I'll play Gandalf. And I'll reduce my threat by 3, which gives me a little breathing room. I'm down to 41. He attacks Gloin, which is good. He's probably the hero with the least, or the big guy with the least hit points. And he exhausts him, which is fine. So I'll have Gandalf contribute some willpower. And then Oh, so he's every upkeep he's going to gain, or every at the end of the round he's going to gain threat. So he's really building up his threat. But I just have Arwen Quest, Arwen, and now I can activate this Fate event, last one, and get Grimbjorn. Nice. He's got block and stalwart, so he gets 2 actions, does 6 total damage per round, and he blocks 1 hit point of damage for every hit. He is awesome. Okay, so I'm going to finish this off. We'll let Grimbjorn, the new arrival, come in. Oh, that's right. The Kyros has block, so he takes 1 less damage. So I got to do 1 more hit. We'll let Gimli do the honors. Okay, so that's pretty cool. It is kind of, you know, when you kill the big boss, it does kind of remind me of killing the opposing player in Hearthstone a little bit, but it's still cool to see the earth shake. So I'll travel now. My threat goes up a little bit. Okay, so apparently I should have been paying attention. I did not see the final encounter banner earlier. I have to defeat every enemy, and I thought I was over after 3 stages, but apparently there are some quests with more than 3 stages. Okay, so I get to heal a hero. I'm going to try to do this quickly. Oh, so I can possibly... Oh, that's kind of cool. This objective is skirming. For 7 willpower, a thick cocoon jerks wildly from side to side. Slash at the strands to free the occupant. Okay, so that's going to be optional because all I really have to do is defeat every enemy. I have enough willpower. Oh, I lost Gandalf too. If I would have known there was another stage, I would not have played him. Okay, so I got to be careful. What am I going to do? I've got some shields. I can heal a little bit, but I'm okay on healing. I don't want to attack with Gimli because he's going to move up to 4 damage if I can get somebody else to get attacked. I could use sneak attack and bring another guy in. Or I could play Warden of Illuminos, who has 2 actions. Okay, I can't dictate who's going to get... So if I give the shield to Gimli, for example, I can't guarantee that he already has one. But if I give it to anybody else, I can't guarantee they're going to be the ones that are going to take the hit. So I should just try to... And I can't do enough damage to knock out any enemy just by itself. So I think I'm just going to start dealing damage to the guards. So I'll do 4 to this one, or 3 to this one. He attacked Gloin, so that's not too bad. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to trade, so he knew that I was going to kill this guy, or he's down low enough I could kill him, so he attacked with him. And so now the thing I've got to worry about is he's going to get 5 more damage. And, sorry, 7 more damage. And then there's nothing I can do really to stop it. I can just redirect it by having somebody guard at the most. That's the most I can do. Does anybody have Stalwart? I just want to make sure nobody's going to get 2 activations. Oh, I'm sorry. Gimli can now damage this guy and destroy him because he does 4 damage now that somebody's been injured. Oh, but I can't because there's a guard out. So I should have... Oh well. The other guy had guard too, so there's really no avoiding it. Okay, so I guess I'll just let's see what happens with sneak attack. Oh, that is awesome. Gandalf with sneak attack. Okay, so if I do 3 damage, that's probably not going to kill anybody. I could lose 3 threat, because there is a threat event that's going to happen at 45 again. Alright, I'm going to just do 3 damage. Okay, so he used his heavy hitter to hit Grimbjorn again. Now I have to be careful because Grimbjorn is getting close to killing distance, or taking enough damage to be killed. And I really... So he only has 3 hit points left. And since this spider has to guard anyway, I'm going to finish him off before he can attack. Okay, good. Gandalf took damage, and he's going away anyway, so that's good. He's going to do 4 damage to somebody. But so can Gimli. I'm trying to do as much questing as I can this round too, so I can get whoever this is. I can almost clear the board. I definitely want to kill this guy. The guy who does 3 damage. I'm trying to find a way of doing it without... Okay. I think I'm going to end up killing 2 guys not... We'll leave the... Ooh, so he just gave somebody extra attack. Ooh, so this guy's going to have an extra 2 attack next round. He's doing this to tempt me to kill this guy instead, which I can discard a shadow attachment with Gloin's power for 1 resource. And that's going to exhaust him as well. It'd be just as easy just to attack him. So I'll go ahead and do that. So he's got a treachery card in play. I'm going to go ahead and have Aragorn and Arwen quest. And then I'm going to activate Aragorn again and have him finish the quest. Ooh. Exhaust the next ally that enters play. That was the treachery. So that's not too bad. A surprising rescue. You tear into the concerningly large cocoon, much to your disappointment, but not to his. The cocoon doesn't contain Bilbo, but a Bjorning by the name of Will-Elk. Alright, so Will-Elk is pretty cool. He's got 4 attack, 5 damage, and he's stalwart. So he's going to get to attack twice, but not until starting next round. I'm going to be all but finished with this quest starting next round. So Gandalf leaves us. I've got a ton of guys here. Discard all cards from each player's deck. Ooh. Man, so I lost my remaining 4 cards in my deck. That's good. That's a good ending threat event because I'm almost done with my deck anyway, and that's a good scary thing to happen in the last round. I'm going to go ahead and heal Grimbjorn just so he can survive a hit. But I'm going to finish everything off now anyway. And I'll have the newcomer, Will-Elk, do the damage. Quest complete. Oh, interesting. So there's some... Ah, okay. So we haven't rescued Bilbo yet, and there's some machinations and diplomacy going on with the orcs and spiders. So that's probably a continuation of the story. So my final threat level is figured into my score. The lower the threat, the higher this point value you get. I have to have as many heroes survive as possible. I had all 3 survive, so I got 75. My surviving hero's health is also a factor. I got to try to keep that up as high as possible. That gives me extra points. If I resolve hazards, that gives me bonus points. Remember, those are optional objectives that I have to try to complete. So now I got to think about doing those just because they add to my score. And then I was able to activate 3 fate events, all 3 of them, which is awesome. So my final score was 190. My max score I could have gotten was 275. So if I had had a little bit higher health, if my threat level had been a little lower, I think I could have maxed it out. So that's pretty good. My reward is 190 Valor. And another thing to remember is I believe that your Valor rewards are greater the higher the difficulty, I think. I'll have to double check that. So we'll play... Next time we'll play on normal mode, and we'll see how much harder it is. Plus, hopefully I won't make all the mistakes I did this time. And we'll see if I get a greater reward. I definitely won't get as high of a score. But we'll see if a different difficulty setting happens to affect the Valor. One-time hero rewards. Your final score determines whether any one-time hero rewards are granted for this quest. A hero can gain a reward only once per quest. So it looks like I could gain a Valor or a Palantir. But it looks like it's only available if I get 200 or more points. This first one, I get plus 50 Valor points. And if I achieve this on normal or hard difficulty, so that's the only way I can do. So this first one is just for points in general. And then if I'm playing on normal or hard, I can claim the Palantir view. So I didn't get any rewards this time, but hopefully next time I'll get some. I definitely could have played smarter. Thanks, Redtail. So I think this is it for tonight. We've been playing quite a while. Next time, looks like we have access to the second scenario. But what I might do is go back and revisit the first one, play it on a higher difficulty so we can kind of see the difference. Like Jofo says, Sauron will get an extra resource. Instead of 2, he'll get 3. And in other words, the normal level of resources, just like I get. And so our tempos, now that it'll be kind of matched between the both of us, it'll kind of be an interesting competition between both of us. So we'll do that next week. I will be back on my regular schedule of streaming. I know I did an encore one yesterday of my first unboxing and playing of the tutorial. And today, and I had one just today, but I will kind of stick to the regular Tuesday streaming schedule. And so you can check me out every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Don't forget also to check out Table Flip and Board Games. We play every Saturday. We're going to be continuing our Gloomhaven campaign on Saturday. That's a lot of fun. It's really cool. So check that out. It's on DeFebruar's channel. And I'll try to put a link up there for that on my page too, so you can tune in there. But thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's been really awesome, a lot of fun. So I get it, like Redtail said, I get a Palantir view if I get a score of 250, normal or hard. Okay, cool. That's awesome. So until then, I will have my VODs up probably tomorrow. Everything is set, and I don't think I'll run into any more publication problems or uploading problems. And so those will be up tomorrow if you want to review those. So until then, have a good night, and I'll see you all on Saturday or next week. Bye.